Hi everyone, hope you are doing very well today and welcome back to the channel. Today I will be trying something a little bit different from my usual Hero Showdown videos. Instead of playing with my commentary included, I will be narrating what's going through my head during and after the fight. For this first episode, I'm going against some pretty challenging opponents at Jabba's Palace and it's quite an exhilarating match. I really do hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, so before we get into the first round, I'm going to be talking about some Anakin star cards that I like to use when it comes to Hero Showdown. Now, the two star cards that I will always use in this game mode is Tenacious and Raw Strength. I know I may be saying the first star card wrong, but it is what it is. So what Tenacious does is it gives you extra health, which is very important when it comes to this game mode, because that little bit of extra health could save you from a lightsaber attack or a force ability or whatever other damage you can think of. The longer you stay in the fight, the better. Now the other star card, which is Raw Strength, increases the damage of your heroic might. When it comes to Hero Showdown, any star card that will increase the damage is very, very important, because that extra little bit of damage, similar to that extra little bit of health, can make a huge difference when it comes to killing your enemies. Now the third star card, I kind of switch in between when it comes to Anakin depending on the map. Now if it's a very big, open, and wide map, I will be using Attraction because that extra range is good in case my opponent tries to block me thinking that I don't have it. It will still get them even if they run out of stamina, so I would greatly recommend using this star card, but since this is a very close and tight quarters map, I just use Fierce Fighter, which decreases the cooldown of Anakin's Passionate Strike.
Good versus evil, light versus dark, heroes versus villains. Who's gonna win?
So I'm going to interrupt real quick because I just want to talk about what I'm doing right here. Since this is Hero Showdown and a lot of people try to respect the 1v1, I try to make distance from my teammate just to show that I want to fight the other player by myself. I don't really want to try to interfere with their duel and make it difficult and unfair. So anytime you're in this type of situation, I know this is a very tight corridor, try to separate from your teammate, see if they would respect the 1v1, and if they don't, obviously help out your teammate. But for majority of players, from what I've seen, they want to try to just have a nice one-on-one duel in Hero Showdown. So I'm just going to quickly interrupt real quick. The reason why I decided to wait to use Anakin's two abilities, his Pull Dominance and his Heroic Might, is because I know I'm facing a Kylo Ren. Majority of the time they will use their Frenzy whenever their stamina runs out, and what that means is I can use my Heroic Might to stagger them, get some damage in, and then also use Pull Dominance to follow up with it. If I am ever going against a Kylo, I never use those two abilities unless they use their Frenzy at me, because if I do, I just run out of abilities and I can't really do much or counter his Frenzy attack.
Ready to quit yet? Important Jedi Council, Yoda is down.
So we unfortunately lost that first round, but it's no big deal. We now know which characters they can't use, which is Kylo Ren and Darth Maul, and you also get the opportunity to learn how your enemy is playing as. So I would say the one issue that I had in this fight was my stamina. I ran out of it way too quickly, and I was being reckless with how I swung my lightsaber. I know Anakin does have very low stamina, but like I said, I was being pretty reckless, and that was my mistake. That's how I lost the fight. Another thing I want to bring up is when I did run out of stamina, Kylo Ren tried to use both of his abilities, but I was able to dodge them completely. I always try to just talk about the importance of this, which is you can dodge any hero's ability if you just move out of the way at the right time. Now, I knew he was going to do it because I've seen him jump in the air, which is one thing I caught in my head, is that every time this Kylo likes to use his ability, he usually jumps. So that gave me the opportunity to realize that if he's jumping, I'll just dodge, and I won't have to worry about losing any of my stamina. So the 3 star cards that I like to use when it comes to Obi-Wan Kenobi is Jedi Resilience, Perfect Defense, and Forward. Now these are always the star cards I use when it comes to Hero Showdown. So what Jedi Resilience does, it pretty much gives him extra health regeneration. So if you lose almost half of your health, you're guaranteed to get almost all of that back, which is so good when it comes to Hero Showdown. Any character that has this star card, I would greatly recommend using it. Now the other one, which is Perfect Defense, pretty much just increases his stamina when it comes to blocking lightsaber and blaster attacks. Now, majority of the time, you're not really going to have to worry about blasters, but lightsaber attacks, you're always going to be facing that. And if you have this on, it helps you when it comes to parrying, or if an enemy is just always swinging at you, this will greatly increase your chances of never running out of stamina. So I would always recommend using this no matter what. And the third one, which is Forward, all this does is increase the damage dealt by your defensive rush ability. This is very good because defensive rush doesn't really do a whole lot of damage as is, but if you have this on, it'll still do a whole bunch of damage, and like I said, damage is the key when it comes to Hero Showdown. So this is one tip I want to bring up whenever you're facing a Count Dooku. If it's been a while since he used his lightning attack, or he hasn't used it at all yet, you want to be playing on the defensive. If you get caught by this, you will be taking quite a bit of damage, especially if he has his duelist ability active. If he uses it and it hits you, or if he misses, that's when you should be playing on the offensive. Try to go for more hits, try to get behind him, try to do some jump swings, do whatever you can, and use that time window where you don't have to worry about being stunned and taking a whole lot of damage.
ASAP tournament foray.
So I unfortunately lost this duel again, but I can definitely say that I was being very reckless towards the end of that round, especially when I still had a lot of health to regenerate. Now, if you are playing as a character like Obi-Wan, and your health does get very low like how I was, you should always take that time just to back up, disengage, and let your health regenerate. But you can also use this to your advantage because you know your opponent is most likely going to be trying to attack you over and over again. If you can hit your parries correctly, or you have some force abilities that you know you can land without getting hit, I would greatly recommend using this time to use them, because that's when you can deal out some additional damage while your health is still regenerating. But it's kind of a high risk, high reward type of situation. If you know you can get those hits off, go for it, but if not, just back off and let your health regenerate. So the 3 star cards that I would always recommend for Luke Skywalker is Epicenter, Rush Immunity, and Jedi Fighter. With Epicenter, I think this is his best star card because it deals damage to opponents that are within half of the radius of his repulse ability. Now I know this might not seem like the best, but this star card has a hidden feature to it. Even if your enemies are blocking your repulse ability, it will still deal damage to them if they are within that half radius. So what this means, if you have your opponent at very low health, you can use this and either kill them or pause their health regeneration timer, making it so you can still attack them without having to worry about all their health regenerating. Now the second ability is Rush Immunity, pretty much giving him damage resistance for 3 seconds every time he uses a rush, making it so even if you do get parried whenever you use this, you won't have to worry about taking a lot of damage, and you can also have that extra resistance if you do want to follow up with your attacks. And the third final star card is Jedi Fighter, which basically increases his stamina when it comes to attacking and blocking, which is always a nice thing to have, and it gives you that little edge against your opponents.
Draw them in. Nice.
You should have retreated. Looking for me?
Alright, so we were able to finally win that round, and let me give you a tip when it comes to going against a General Grievous. Now, as you guys saw, he stunned me with his Claw Rush twice that round. But what happened with the second time is he stayed in his ability, and I was able to hit him multiple times even after he stunned me. Now, if you're playing as Grievous, if you are able to hit your opponent right at the beginning of your ability, you can hit them a second time, but it is very, very rare. So if you are to hit your opponent with the Claw Rush ability, I would get right back up as soon as you can, but try to make some distance from your opponent, because you do have to get back up and turn on your lightsabers. So what this Grievous did, he kept on trying to hit me a second time, and I was able just to swing through it because I had immunity from it, and that led to his downfall, unfortunately.
There is no emotion, there is peace.
So I thought I'd just bring it up again since we are just chilling here waiting. I always try to respect the 1v1 when it comes to Hero Showdown. This is a dueling game mode, and not everybody wants to be fighting a 2v1 or a 2v2. If they wanted that, they could have just played Heroes versus Villains and just had fun there. But this is a game mode based on just fighting one other person, and even though I did win my fight, I'm not going to interfere. I'm not going to help out the Obi-Wan unless he dies, and that's just how this game mode is.
Take a load off.
The Trandoshan is out of the running.
Anakin Skywalker. I was expecting something.
General Grievous. You're shorter than I expected.
I am troubled nations. I am kings. I am honored legends.
So we unfortunately lost that one, but as I saw from the player level, this guy is definitely smurfing because he obviously really knows how to play Grievous. This is how you want to play as him, and yeah, I got destroyed that fight. The jump swing is very, very strong when it comes to Grievous because you can deal so much damage so quickly without after really worrying about getting parried. It's super quick, not a lot of people can really react to it, and it just makes him one of the best duelists when it comes to Hero Showdown. Alright, so my teammate won. He was able to pull through and he beat the General Grievous, bringing us to the final round. Now, unfortunately with Hero Showdown, you have to pick one blaster character if you want to win all 3 of your rounds with lightsaber heroes. It's just how the game is, and in my opinion, I think Han Solo is the best when it comes to Hero Showdown. He has some of the best abilities, his blaster is amazing, and if you're running certain star cards, you can get 3 dodges, which makes it so much easier to evade lightsaber heroes. Now, the 3 star cards that I'm going to be using is Airburst, Smuggler's Wits, and Heavily Modified Blaster. Now, what Airburst does is whenever you throw your detonation charge and you detonate it before it hits the ground, it's going to do so much more damage, which allows you just to take out your enemies much, much quicker. Now, his Heavily Modified Blaster pretty much decreases the rate at which he builds heat, making it so you can fire his blaster for much longer periods of time, which is always good when you're facing a lightsaber hero because you just want to try to drain their stamina as quickly as you can. And the last and final star card that I was always recommend using on Han Solo if you're playing a Heroes game mode is Smuggler's Wits. This gives him 3 additional, this gives him 3 dodges, making it so you can just evade so many blaster shots and so many lightsaber attacks, making him so unpredictable, and it's amazing. It only has one downside, which is it increases your cooldowns of your abilities by a tiny bit, but it's not really much that you can notice. So I would always recommend using these 3 star cards when it comes to Heroes versus Villains or Hero Showdown.
Hey, you!
Killing smuggler scum is beneath me.
There's danger. Close by.
Don't try it.
No more. Surrender.
Is it always this easy? Sorrow's mine.
So as we're waiting to fight, I know I might as well talk about this in case some people don't know about it, but there is a glitch where if you hold down your joystick, your left joystick, and you go left and right at the same time while going straight, you're able to do like this weird walk as you just saw Boba Fett do, which kind of makes you run, but just it looks very funny and janky. And it takes practice, it takes time to master. It's much more fun on lightsaber characters because they're very fast, especially on Luke Skywalker, but if you do it correctly, it's kind of a little funny glitch that you can pull.
Sorrow belongs to me.
It's hiding.
So sad, Rey has met her defeat.
No games.
A rough turn of events for Boba Fett.
Great, kid. Don't get cocky. Bad luck now.
So we did it. I was able to finally clutch up a round and we made it through. We won the match. Now, one other tip I want to bring up with Han Solo, in case some people don't know, is that you can shoulder charge through your enemy's block. This can be very good in case they're low on health, or if you need to deal some extra damage if their health is regenerating, similar to Luke Skywalker and his 1-star card that makes his repulse do some extra damage. Now, luckily I was able to beat the Boba Fett, make it through just fine, and since Grievous has such low stamina, and once you shoot his lightsabers just a couple times, he can't really do much against you. So, kind of all worked out. We were able to win it, and we made it through. So So that's the end of the match. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I had tons of fun making it. I really enjoyed just being able to provide my tips while I play, and just what I'm thinking whenever I'm playing Hero Showdown, and hopefully this will help you guys out a little bit more in your future Hero Showdown matches. And if you guys like this series, I will definitely be making more of it, and if there's something that you guys would like me to talk about as well, or if there's some things I missed, please let me know down in the comments. And as I said, if you like this type of content, please leave a like, subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and yeah, I really do hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching.